We are live from Sinsheimer Park in beautiful San Luis Obispo, California. Another perfect day for baseball here in SLO. It is game 38 of the Blues' 75th anniversary 2021 season. They come in with their record of 23-14, and coming off of a 1-1 road trip, they welcome the team that is right behind them in the standings. The Orange County Riptide are in town, just a game behind the Blues in the standings, who currently are second in the CCL South with their conference record at 13-12. 2.5 games behind the 1 seed Arroyo Seco, and the Riptide are right behind the Blues. Their record coming into tonight is 20-15. They're third place in the CCL South with their conference record at 12-13. Again, as mentioned, 1 game behind SLO. Hi again, everybody. I'm Zach Ibrahim. Blues are home for their final 5, and we couldn't be happier to be back. Coming off of a 1-1 road trip that featured a 1-0 loss, their second shutout of the season, and more recently, an 11-4 victory against MLB Academy. The Blues are 4-6 in their last 10 and play their final 5 here at home. And with a 3-win week, they'd almost guarantee a trip to Lincoln to compete for a state championship. At this point in the season, SLO is competing against exhaustion and being tired as much as their opponents on the diamond. It's that point in the season, the final 5. They'll have to grind to get victories, and they're ready to do so tonight against the Riptide. It is time to leave it all out on the field if you're the Blues. 5 more times to do it, and then you'll be in Lincoln. Starting lineups being introduced. Riptide, this is the 6th and final game against Orange County. So far, through 5, Blues have taken 2, Riptide have taken 3. They can clinch a series victory. It doesn't mean much, but playing the team 1 game above them in the standings, a win tonight for second place if the Riptide are to come away with a victory tonight. It's the 6th and final game between the Blues and Riptide. Here's how the series has gone so far. Back on June 29th, the Riptide won 4-0. On the 30th, they won 5-2. Blues got revenge, winning 7-6 on July 8th. On July 17th, they won 8-4, and most recently, a 3-2 loss back on the 20th. 2 of those games, the Blues did not have several starters who were quarantined for 10 days. And as the teams line up, I'll step aside for this rendition of our national anthem. I'll be right back with you once it's over.
Do you have a question?
What's so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars rule the perilous fight. For the ramparts we watch were so gallantly sheathed, and rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, who say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And with that, we're ready for baseball. The Blues will send Matt Sox, their ace, to the mound for the 8th time this season. Comes in with his record of 3-1. His ERA at 2.14 in 29 1/3 innings pitched. Again, his 8th start, 7 walks and 20 hits allowed, leading the CCL in strikeouts with 52. Matt Sox will face a Riptide lineup that goes like this. Terry Simmons leads things off and plays center field, followed by Colton Freeman batting second and playing right. Austin Krisick is the DH tonight, and Clayton Owens is manning first base and batting cleanup, followed by Gavin Hamovitz, the second baseman. Charlie Taylor's doing the catching. Emilio Rosas is the third baseman. Efren Cervantes bats 8th and is the shortstop, and Dwight Allen, CCL All-Star, rounds things out in the 9 hole and plays left field. Sox warms up and takes the mound. Being his 8th start, he's coming off of a 4 2/3 3 earned run performance against the Foresters. That came in a 12-4 loss, one of the worst this season by the Blues. Gave up 3 hits, struck out 5, and only walked 1. Previously to that, it was his shortest start. 3 full innings pitched, 2 earned runs. He has given up earned runs in 4 straight starts, and that's very uncharacteristic for a man who was leading the CCL in ERA through 5 starts. He was leading the CCL in ERA. Right now, he leads the league in strikeouts. The right-hander faces Simmons, Freeman, and Krisick at the top of the Riptide lineup. It's the Blues and Riptide for the 6th and final time this season. It's a big one. These two teams neck and neck in the CCL South. And one of these games down the stretch for the Riptide, who have a tough closing stretch of opponents to face, could determine who ends up in the CCL playoffs and who does not in the competitive CCL South. We're about ready for baseball. Terrence Simmons leads things off for the Riptide to face Matt Sox. Sox has pitched against the Riptide. That came in a winning effort. 7-6 back on July 8th. Went 5 full innings, an earned run, 4 hits, and a season-high 12 strikeouts. It's his 2nd start against the Riptide, his 8th overall. Simmons stands in, lefty on righty to get us started. Top of the 1st. Underway. Sox delivers. Strike 1. Quickly ahead on Simmons. Riptide coming off of back-to-back wins. Coming off of a 10-2 victory against the Saints. That's strike 2. So they beat the Barons back on the 24th 7-4. Previously, they had lost 2 straights to the Foresters and Oaks. And then a couple nights ago, beating the Saints 10-2 in what was a huge victory for the Riptide. 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. Went with the heater on 2 strikes, and it's a 3-pitch strikeout for Matt Sox, his 53rd. Bringing Colton Freeman to the plate with 1 out and no one on, 3 pitches in. Matt Sox has a strikeout, and we're just underway here in the top of the 1st at Sinsheimer Park. Freeman stands in with his average at .319. Sox to the plate. Breaking ball misses for ball 1. 1-0 pitch. Missing again, ball 2. Sox, who does not allow men to reach via base on balls. Only 7 walks allowed the entire season. We mentioned the ERA has been low the whole year. 2.14 coming into play. 2-0. Now 3-0, and on the doorstep of a possible walk here as Colton Freeman is ahead in the count firmly. He has walked already 9 times this season. Bases empty, no score, top of the 1st, 1 gone. Here's a 3-0 pitch to Colton Freeman for Matt Sox. That breaking ball miss is in there for strike 1, He goes with the curveball, 3-0, and Freeman certainly not expecting that. If anything, expecting it to miss. And the count is now 3-1. We'll see what Sox goes to here. Goes with the heater, and he cut on it and missed. It's 3-2. .30 count, and he went with a curveball. Then went to the fastball, and now the count is full to Colton Freeman. No one on and 1 gone. Top of the 1st, no score. Here's a payoff pitch. Got him swinging. 2 up, 2 down via the K, and Matt Sox is rolling, and now it's Austin Krisick. Set to face the right-hander, a senior out of the University of Utah. Krisick is DHing today. Normally an outfielder if he's going to play a defensive position. The average at .311. One of 4 Riptide to have their averages above 300. Here's the first pitch from Sox. Popped up, and now it's in shallow center. Cermak turns on the Jets. Now holds as Grotto calls, loses his hat, but makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down, and it's a scoreless 1-2-3 inning pitched by Matt Sox, compiling 2 Ks to continue to lead the CCL. He's got 54 on the season, and the Riptide go down scoreless. Bottom of the 1st coming up. Blues bats will have their chance to challenge Sherez Butcher for the 2nd time this season. Here's how the Blues line up tonight. Leading things off is Ryan Cermak, and playing center field, of course. TJ Clarkson's batting second and playing first base. Grotto's in left and playing third. Batting third, playing left field. Austin Shell does the catching batting cleanup. Tate Samuelson bats fifth and is the third baseman. Vince Martinez, the DH, bats sixth. Austin Kretschmar, the second baseman. Vinny Bologna, the right fielder. And Ruben Mercado, rounding things out in the 9-hole, plays shortstop. Quick top of the first as Sox sets them down 1-2-3. Now it'll be the Riptide's right-hander, Sherez Butcher, taking the mound and facing the Blues for the second time this season. Butcher, who has actually pitched against the Blues twice, the first time was in relief. He got one out in the 7-6 victory back on the 8th. Back on the 20th, in a Riptide victory, it was his first start of the season. Previously had only come out of the pen. He went 5 full innings, did not give up an earned run, gave up 1 hit, and struck out 5. He was extremely effective against the Blues bats, who we have to mention were missing several starters. They've got them back in this one, and one of them, Ryan Cermak, leads things off, facing Butcher. This Blues offense, for certain position players, they've been getting days off, or at least not starting, and have come into pinch hits. Cermak takes inside, and it hit him. Ryan Cermak was hit by a pitch 3 times the last time we were on. That was in Compton. First pitch, inside, drills Cermak. He's been hit 4 times in the past 2 games and takes first base. Very ominous start. Butcher hits the first man with the first pitch to the plate. Was going to mention that certain position players have been getting days off, or at least coming in to pinch hit. That have been their only appearances, because it is that point in the season. And if you talk to Bob Miller, he knows all about it. Coaching 19 seasons at Cuesta College, where their season is around 40 games, 42 here with the Blues. He knows his guys need rest, and he has to get it for them. Clarkson flies one out to center. Ranging back is Simmons at the wall and making the catch for the first out. Cermak, who tagged, now has to retreat back into first. 1 man on and 1 out for Mason Grotto. Blues have seen 2 pitches from Butcher. One of them hit Cermak, and the other Clarkson sent out to center for the first out. Grotto stands in. Cermak on base for him. 1 gone, bottom of the first, no score. Butcher's third pitch of the ball game is in there for strike 1. Butcher, who previously, the longest he'd gone in an appearance was 2 innings. Cermak taking off for second. Grotto fouls one off. It's 0-2 on Grotto. Cermak was trying for an extra bag. Has to head back into first. He'd only gotten 2 full innings. It's the longest he had gone. And then a month later, goes 5 full, shutting out Blues pitching. They'd be able to plate 2 off the bullpen, but that final would be 3-2 in a losing effort. Grotto flares one out to center. Simmons is under it for the second out. 1 man on and 2 gone for Austin Shell. Shell was a little banged up in the 11-4 victory against the Barons last time we were here at home. There was a bang-bang play at first. Shell out of position, but inserted to play first base. It's one of 2 positions he's played. If you don't count DH, doing the catching tonight, was playing first base last time we played the Barons here. And if you remember, Kamau Neighbors, as Cermak takes off for second, pitch is taken in the dirt, throw in, not in time. It's in the outfield. Cermak has a stolen base, and now we'll head into third. First run for the Blues is just 90 feet away in the form of the speedy 5-tool center fielder Ryan Cermak, who was hit by a pitch to lead off the ball game. He now steals second and is safe at third, as the throw to second ended up in center field. We saw the Blues steal 5 bases against the Barons when we were in Compton the other day. 1-0 pitch to Shell. bounces, it hit him, and he'll take first base. Blues have had 2 men reach, both after being hit by a pitch. Ryan Cermak, who was hit on the first pitch of the game, is safe at third, and Austin Shell is safe at first. Here's Tate Samuelson. Runners on first and third. 2 gone. Bottom of the first, still no score. Samuelson hits one to Rosas, and he fields cleanly, throws to first. Inning is over. And 2 runners are stranded on first and third. Butcher does not allow a hit, does not strike a man out, but still pitches a scoreless bottom of the first. Blues did not see a lot of pitches in that one. Butcher has himself a scoreless first inning. We'll head to the top of the second. Still scoreless here at Sinsheimer Park, and we'll see if Matt Sox can have a better first inning in his second. He was terrific in the first, as he has been all season. And so has Butcher against the Blues, has hit 2 men. A little lack of command here early, a little adrenaline. Your second time pitching against a team that you dominated against, and you're expected to come out and do it again. Matt Sox is looking to do the same. Top of the second coming up. Riptide will come to the plate, and it'll be Clayton Owens to lead off their top of the second. Still no score. Sinsheimer Park, Blues and Riptide, 6th time this season. I'm Zach Ibrahim, and couldn't be happier to have you along with us on the Blue Streaming Network. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Scoreless ball game so far as we enter the top of the second, and Clayton Owens will face Matt Sox for the first time tonight. Sox, who struck out 2 and had himself a 1-2-3 scoreless first inning, will follow that up here, facing Owens to get us started here in the second. Blues left 2 men stranded on first and third with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And here's the first pitch from Sox to Owens. It's fouled back, and it's 0-1. Another amazing crowd on hand, and this is usually the case night in and night out, but especially when the Blues go on the road for a certain period of time. And obviously those weekend series are a lot of fun for the fans. 0-1 pitch. Strike 2. So Blues are on the road for 2 games. We were in Thousand Oaks, stayed in a hotel in Long Beach, worked our way to Compton, and worked our way back up to SLO. Now we're home, and we're happy to be back. 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Just misses. And that curveball for Matt Sox. He has thrown it now in an 0-2 count. He's thrown it in a 3-0 count. He can use his pitches whenever he wants, whenever he likes. 1-2 pitch. Got him swinging. LSA is fouled off, excuse me. Owens getting a minimal part of that one. Still no one on and no one out. Top of the second. Scoreless ball game at Sinsheimer Park. 1-2 the count to Clayton Owens. Fouled off. Stays alive. We'll see another pitch.
Ball sponsor tonight is Big Integration. Down to the parking lot. Be careful when you go chasing for it.
Blues were shut out for the second time this entire season in Thousand Oaks in a 1-0 loss to the Oaks. First time they were shut out against this Riptide team in Irvine. 1-2 pitch. Dips inside and was taken for ball 2. It did not hit Owens. The count is even now at 2-2. For Owens, the average at .316. This is just his 6th game as a member of the Orange County Riptide, but he's certainly been effective in his limited time. Flares that one out to left. Grotto watches it drift foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Clayton Owens. Owens, a senior at USC, hometown of Corona, California. 6'1" left-handed batter. 2 balls and 2 strikes to him. Here's Sox to the plate. Missing for ball 3. Sox had it 0-2. Owens has worked it full at 3-2. Last time we saw this, Sox was behind 3-0. Came back to strike a man out. Here's a payoff pitch to Owens. Flared out to right, hit on a line, and that's a fair ball. This will be extra bases for Clayton Owens as he rounds first and will be into second with a stand-up leadoff double. First hit of the game for either team, and it's the first runner in scoring position for the Riptide, courtesy of Clayton Owens. That was Owens' 5th double. He's got 7 hits as a member of the Riptide. 5 have been doubles. He's safe at second with nobody out for Gavin Hamovitz, who this is just his 5th game as a member of the Riptide. And in that time, he's batting .529. He's got 9 hits and 17 at-bats. Sox, first pitch to him. Misses for ball 1. Sox dealing with a runner in scoring position and no one out for the first time tonight. Top of the second as we're scoreless and there's no one out. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch. Curveball in there. Strike 1, count even. So we've seen him use the curveball in 3 different situations now to 3 different batters. I was talking to Casey Belt this past weekend on the road trip about Matt Sox. As here's a 1 ball and 1 strike pitch. Ball 2. And Casey Belt just said, listen, it is a privilege to watch this man work. Not only the stuff, not only what's coming out of that right arm, but just his body and his presence on the mound. He has such a good feel for how his body needs to move in order for him to get the pitch to the plate the way he wants it. 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball 3 as he misses. 3-1 the count to Hamovitz. Runner at second is Clayton Owens. He doubled for the first hit for the Riptide. And I couldn't echo Casey's thoughts anymore. It's been a joy watching Matt Sox. 3 balls and 1 strike to Hamovitz. Strike 2. Count's been worked full for the 2nd straight batter, the 3rd time in this game. Owens doubled on a full count pitch. See what Hamovitz has for Sox. 3 balls and 2 strikes. We're scoreless in the top of the second. Still nobody out. Here's a payoff pitch. Breaking ball misses for ball 4. And he walks Hamovitz. It's just the 8th time he's walked a batter this season. And with Owens doubling, he's safe at second. And now Owens is safe at first. Still no one out in the top of the second, bringing Charlie Taylor to the plate with ducks on the pond. And Sox, obviously, as good as he's been, as good as the numbers suggest, he hasn't had to pitch with men on base that much this season. But when he has, he tends to get consecutive batters out to end the inning and holding the team scoreless. We'll see if he'll be able to do so, as that's ball 1. First hit or walk of the game. First hit and walk. Owens and Hamovitz reaching back-to-back. Here's Taylor. 1-0 pitch. Misses again. Ball 2. Taylor, the average at 282 with 7 driven in. Going to look to add to that total. The infield's going to have a conversation with Sox here. It's Shell and Clarkson. That's a teammate of his at University of Utah. And, of course, Shell, a senior at Cal State Fullerton, gives his guy some knuckles. And they'll get back to work here. Still hunting for that first out as the Riptide have men on first and second with no outs in the top of the second. Still scoreless here at Sinsheimer Park. Two-0 pitch. Got him swinging, and now it's 2-1. Goes with the heater there, and Taylor not able to catch up to it. Sox with the fastball that tops out in the low 90s. It's the off-speed stuff that really is deadly. Change-up and curveball combination. 2 balls and 1 strike. Checking second and dealing. Fouled off, and it's 2-2. Fans chant for hot sauce. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 men on at the top of the second. Deuce is wild here at Sinsheimer Park. Here's the pitch from Sox. Got him swinging. There's the first out, and it's the third strikeout for Matt Sox. It's hot sauce for a lucky fan, and now you've got men on first and second for Rosas with 1 gone in the top of the second. Sox who could not have had a quicker top of the first, dealing with traffic here in the top of the second, but able to compose himself when he had Taylor ahead 2-0 on him. Comes back to strike him out. First pitch to Rosas. Fouled off and out of play. It'll be a souvenir for a fan, and it's 0-1. So, with only 4 starters in the Blues rotation, Sox, of course, being one of them, then Toll, Larson, and Wish are the 4 men we've seen start throughout weeks recently since Cade Sheedy went home and Vaughn Moderer has moved into the bullpen. There's no 1 pitch. Curveball, strike 2. With only 4 starters in the rotation, it's been a challenge for Dean Traynor and Bob Miller sorting out when to pitch guys. Kyle Wish making his last start on 4 days rest. Matt Sox coming into this one, full 6 days rest, what he's been used to. It's been a tough challenge to have to balance out rest for your pitchers. 0-2 pitch, sent out into center. Cermak ranges to his right, makes the catch. Runners will stay put. And now there's 2 gone for Cervantes. It's been a challenge ever since this has been a thing. And we're talking about a couple weeks now where you're down to 4 starters and you play 6 games a week. You go 10 days without several starters. Now you have everyone back, but you still have to balance out when to rest guys, when to pitch them on short rest, who to bring out of the pen, who can you back-to-back days, if anyone. Curveball misses for ball 1. This is Cervantes now batting with men on first and second. In the top of the second, there's 2 gone now, and we're still scoreless. So it has not been an easy road for the coaching staff and for these players to have to balance out all these situations. Taken high for ball 2, but it also speaks as the Blues have still been winning, 23-14. Have still been winning. It really speaks to their way to just put their heads down and say, this is who we've got to compete. This is who we're going to put out there. They're going to give us our best effort. And Coach Miller has told me that even with guys being tired, pitchers or position players, I haven't seen any shortage of effort. That's a good sign. 2-0. 2-1. Blues in second place in the South, facing the team right behind him, a game behind him, in third. 2-1 pitch. Fouled off, and it's 2-2. Sox is a strike away from getting out of this inning, stranding men on first and second. Two balls and 2 strikes to Cervantes. Fouled off. Sox digs it out of the grass. Guns to first. Inning is over. Runners are indeed stranded on first and second. Clayton Owens led things off with a double. Hamovitz was walked. He struck out Taylor. He got Rosas to fly out, and he gets Cervantes to ground out to pitch a scoreless top of the second, a little lengthier than the first, but it's still 0-0, as the Blues bats will have their chance to change that in the home half of the second. Matt Sox has struck out 3, now has 55 strikeouts to continue to lead the CCL, and Sherez Butcher, who is going to go out and try to mirror what Sox has done. Stranding runners on first and third for the Blues. He hit 2 men. Those are the 2 that would reach. Has not struck anyone out. We'll face Vince Martinez to lead things off in the bottom of the second. While we have a moment, I want to thank one of the many generous sponsors of the San Luis Obispo Blues. We want to thank Via Automotive. They've been with us since 1946. All 75 years of the Blues' existence, Via Automotive has been right there. We appreciate and thank you, Via Automotive, where their slogan is, our family taking care of your family. If you're in need of any automotive repairs, check out Via Automotive. They've got you covered. I'll take a short break. Be right back with you. Top of the second. Bottom of the second coming up. Still scoreless. Thanks for hanging out. Always a short break as Martinez struts to the plate to face Butcher for the first time tonight. We're in the bottom of the second. Blues bats are up, facing Sherez Butcher of the Riptide on the mound. Worked around 2 hit batters, one reaching third to pitch a scoreless bottom of the first. First pitch to Martinez is swung on and missed for strike 1. Stay tuned for the top of the third. And I'm going to tease this. We're going to have a special guest in the booth. It's not anyone we've had before. It's not Adam. It's not Brooke. It's not Colin. We're going to bring a very special guest on. I'm thrilled. I cannot wait, as that's taken for ball 1. That's just a little tease. Stay tuned for the third inning. We'll have a special guest joining me in the press box, in the booth. It'll be a lot of fun. 1 ball and 1 strike to Martinez. Here's your tease. Strike 2. One ball and 2 strikes to Martinez, leading off the bottom of the second for the Blues. Still scoreless at Sinsheimer Park. Butcher to the plate. This breaking ball is sent to Hemovitz at second. Routine play, gunning to first, and that's the first out. Here's Austin Kretschmar, infielder from Stanford. 1 out, no one on, bottom of the second. Kretschmar, who just a couple days ago had his first game as a Blue where he had 3 hits. That had multi-hit games. First time he had 3 hits. He's been productive. He's been getting on base as he takes ball 1 from Butcher. 1-0. Missing again for ball 2. So the Blues, and this has been rare, getting the leadoff man on, usually that's how they've been scoring. And we'll document more of this offense later, but they get the leadoff man on in Ryan Cermak, who would then steal second. He would reach third with just 1 out. Kretschmar bounces this one to third. It's a fair ball. Rosas will gun to Owens, and there's 2 down now. So they get the leadoff man on. They get that runner to third. And in the process, Grotto, who leads the league in RBIs, he flies out. Butcher would then hit Shell and get Samuelson to ground out. So he pitched around adversity and traffic, as Sox did in the top of the second. We're in the bottom of the second now. Vinny Bologna is coming to the plate for his first at-bat. And there's no one on and 2 outs as that breaking ball misses for ball 1 from Sherez Butcher. Bologna getting the start in right, 1-0. Taking low for ball 2. Butcher, a sophomore at Tennessee, 6'4" right-hander, delivering a 2-0 to Bologna. Ball 3, senior out of Fresno State. Teammate of Mason Grotto's and Andrew Kachel of the Santa Barbara Foresters. Two of those guys are CCL All-Stars. 3 balls, no strikes to Bologna. That's ball 4, and Vinny will take a walk. Here's Ruben Mercado. Batting with Bologna on first and 2 gone in the bottom of the second. Mercado stands in, senior out of San Jose State. The man on the mound, Trez Butcher, is from Kokomo, Indiana. Not the Kokomo that the Beach Boys sing about. It's the Kokomo that I know about. Not too far from Bloomington. Couple-hour drive. First pitch to Mercado's in the dirt, ball 1. I haven't been to Kokomo, Indiana. I don't know if I will go. That's strike 1. I'm sure it's a fine town. I just like Bloomington. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Mercado. Bologna is safe at first after working a 4-pitch walk. 2 gone in a scoreless bottom of the second. Breaking ball is over the head of Mercado and taken for ball 2 as he had to duck. The production level for this offense has been, it fluctuates. They seem to come alive almost every other day. They'll score 4, then 11, then none, then 11 again. So we'll see what they have for Orange County, who the last time they played, again, down several starters, they lost 3-2. That was back on the 20th. Strike 2. Count even to Mercado. 2-2 the count. 2 gone, bottom of the second. Mercado against the Riptide this season, as here's a 2-2, fouled off, and he'll stay alive to see another pitch, is 4 for 13 with 2 RBIs, 2 doubles, and a walk. Those 2 RBIs and those 2 doubles, that came, actually 3 of those 4 hits he's gotten against the Riptide were in one game. That was the Blues' second win against them back on the 17th. They won 8-4. It was Ruben's best game of the season. 2-2 pitch. Checked his swing and went around for strike 3. That ends the inning. Bologna works a walk, but Mercado strikes out. And that is the first strikeout for Butcher. That is it for us through 2. Top of the third coming up. We'll have a special guest join us in the booth. You won't want to miss it. And we're going to take a short break. Till then, we'll get situated. Dwight Allen will be up. He's a CCL All-Star for the Riptide. Scoreless, top of the third. Matt Sox still on to pitch, of course. Is not allowed to run, allowed 1 hit. Walked a man, has struck out 3. Stay tuned. Top of the third coming up. I'll be right back. Thanks for hanging out and making the Blue Streaming Network part of your Tuesday evening. Welcome back. Top of the third underway. Still scoreless here at Sinsheimer Park. Dwight Allen leads things off for the Riptide against Matt Sox of the Blues. We're going to welcome in our special guest now. And I've been very eager to welcome in Davis Ellington, previous play-by-play voice of the San Luis Obispo Blues for 2 summers. Davis, first off, it's been awesome talking to you. Just met Davis about an hour ago. First off, welcome back, man. This was like a second home to you.
Oh my gosh, it's so nice to be back. It looks so different with the new backstop netting. It's just really, it's immaculate. Sitting here, when I was doing this, you sometimes lose balls with the poles, and now it looks like a different field. It's crazy.
Allen flies out to center. That's the first out, welcoming Terrence Simmons back as we work our way to the top of the Riptide lineup again. You are doing play-by-play for the single A affiliate of the Dodgers. I mean, first off, how cool is that? You know, you're in the part of your career now where you're going to trying to work your way up, and just to say you're affiliated with the Dodgers, single A, double A, who cares, man? I mean, how cool has that been?
It's been an amazing time. I mean, we're 70 games in. We got a little less than 50 to go. It's been a lot of fun. Team's been competitive, but the facility, it's just mind blowing. Going from college baseball to just a minor league setting is been really fun. Got to meet a lot of interesting people, and the competition just ratchets up and up and up. And it's been so interesting to dive into the nitty gritty of baseball at that level.
2-0 is the count to Simmons, one gone, top of the third. I want to ask you about this because as that's fouled back and out of play. Talk about the grind of now the minor league schedule that you have to go through, because this season has been 42 games for us, as I'm sure it was when you were here. You travel with the team. And at first, for me, I'm sure it was for you, your first season, you're thinking, man, this is a grind, but this is also kind of the dream. And now you're in that minor league schedule now. So talk about what you took in terms of your experience with the Blues for 2 summers and how you've taken that into your minor league schedule.
Oh, absolutely. That's a great question. When I got done with the Blues, I went to a different league, and I did it there. It was about 55 games, and I thought, man, that kind of got me. Like, that was really kind of an arduous season. We play 6 games a week. We only have Mondays off.
Yep.
And you got to take care of your instrument. Like, for me, my voice, I do a lot of self-care with that. You got to stay healthy. Eating on the road is tough. The Dodgers hire their chefs that they have that go with the team. So we're really lucky in that. But if I was with any other team, you're eating a lot of McDonald's, or you're trying to throw stuff together in your hotel room and just literally live through the road trip till you can go home to a functioning stove.
Yes. I can tell you from my experience on the road with the team this year, we have lived on In-N-Out. It does not matter win or loss, as that's strike one. Terrence Simmons just worked a walk. He's safe at first. Our head coach, Bob Miller, we had In-N-Out back-to-back nights on the road. And I remember he turned to me and said, I hope this isn't torture for you. And I said, Coach, it isn't at this point, but it will get to that point because he loves In-N-Out. He could eat it every day. And he knows we are eating it for the 6th time in 2 weeks. And was very honest with me and asked, but no, hear what you're saying. Definitely nice having a stove. So what do you remember the most about your 2 summers? I'm lucky enough to work with a group of interns. The fact that the Blues have this many interns and the game day operations, we could talk about that for hours. What do you remember most about your 2 summers? Aside from calling the games, the work atmosphere, working under Adam, you come in and see your old buddy Jim, our public address announcer. What do you remember the most, and what you love the most about working for the Blues specifically? The
camaraderie amongst the interns was just amazing. Actually, one of the interns that worked with me my first year works for the Dodgers. He works for another minor league affiliate as a ticket sales guy, and we still talk all the time. We go to the winter meetings together. We're going to be going this year as well. And just, coming to the ballpark, my favorite time, honestly, was between about 4:45 and game time.
That's lined out into right center for a base hit. Simmons will round second, head into third. It's a single for Freeman. There's men on first and third with 1 gone.
But getting to work with the people every day, that's what I miss the most, was just the friends I made after games. If we had a good game and all that, we'd go to Denny's, get some pancakes, and just hang out. Oh, just the nights in SLO pre and post game of just being with your friends, doing a job you love. You can't replace it.
I know I'll miss it. Story is yet to be written whether I'll come back or I go to school in Indiana, so that's a ways away. The fact that I even got this opportunity, I was just thrilled. I'm from about 3 hours south. I'm from the Thousand Oaks area, and went to high school in that area. But just getting to know SLO as a community, you talk about the interns, I echo that absolutely. But working in a town like this, college atmosphere, college town, you really can't beat it. You went to Cal Poly, and my next question for you is, what was your major, and did you get to call games for Cal Poly before you even did stuff for the Blues?
So I was a communications major.
Yep.
No, I did not. A lot of the parents of Poly athletes for the Blues wanted me to, but it just didn't work out. I had actually never, and I can finally admit this, I never had called a game before I got this job with the Blues.
That's hit out to left. Grotto will have a drop in front of him. That's a base hit. The first run of the game is going to score, and it's an RBI single for Austin Krissick. 1-0 Riptide. Men are still on first and third with 1 gone.
So I made a tape of an inning of a game I actually played in, and I took my phone, recorded it, and I stood in my room and legitimately reenacted pitching the ball so the timing was right. I remembered the whole inning, went through the motions, sent it to the Blues, had my interview,
Wow.
and ended up convincing them that they should roll the dice on me. And I'm very happy that it has paid off. But yeah, it was fun. Getting started was interesting.
Isn't that awesome, man? That's gold, by the way. I appreciate you telling us that and admitting that.
Hey, I'm finally out.
Yeah.
So Adam doesn't know that.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I'll hear it from him. But yes, that was how I got my start.
Wow, that's incredible. I'll tell you this. I was lucky. My high school, our team started to gain some popularity in SoCal. Our basketball and football team specifically, they said, hey, we want a student announcer. We think that'd be a good look for the school. I'm lucky enough to put my name in a hat, come out, and end up doing it for a couple of years. And that's kind of when I sat down and said, this is what I'd like to do. It's 1-0 Riptide. Here's a 1-0 pitch. That's fouled softly down the right field line. It will drift foul. Count 1-1. When did you know that when do you sit and say to yourself, I want to be a broadcaster. I don't really want to do anything else. Play-by-play is my passion, and this is what I want to pursue.
It has to go back. So in high school, I did some PA for our I got to transition from playing baseball to something. I knew I wanted to stay in it. I don't stop talking.
Yeah.
As my mom and sister can, I'm sure, attest to. And
Sure.
so I was like, let's give it a shot.
Yeah, why not?
And as I did it for the Blues, after about my first week or two, I was like, man, it became addicting. And I just have been lucky enough to be able to have been doing it now for 3 or 4 years, and you just kind of got to see every year, see what happens.
Yeah. I went about, I knew I was never going to be an athlete at any level where I'd be able to provide for myself or make a name for myself. So the next closest thing to stay close to the game for me was basketball. And now throughout this season, I've just grown a love for specifically the game of baseball. I told myself I didn't really want to do anything else. I like you, do not shut up, and it can drive people crazy. 1 and 2 fouled back. So it fit, and I just remember like the first time where I would actually make a good call and you get the goosebumps. And you think, oh, I can't wait to listen back to that. I just had that happen to me, and that's what I think you're speaking to in terms of being addictive. It really can be that way. So with play-by-play of baseball specifically, as that's fouled out to left, what is it that you like the most? Because I feel like baseball on the radio is the purest form of play-by-play that you can do, whether you're with an analyst or not. So first off, do you work with an analyst with the Dodger affiliate?
So with the Dodgers, it's me and another guy, and we just kind of trade off.
Sure.
I think I'm more of the analytical piece of the two of us.
Okay.
As far as
you do
that
color.
breakdowns. Yes.
Got it. Okay. That's bounced. Gets away from Shell. He'll field it. Runners are on second and third now for the Riptide. They lead 1-0 with 1 out in the top of the third.
Yeah, that's more my role there, and we kind of switch that off. But what I love about baseball is I've been such an addict of it for so long, and I have friends that are still playing right now in minor league baseball, that it allows me to use the knowledge that I've grown of the game and in playing and talking to them, and actually I coach as well back at home.
Oh, that's cool.
And just getting to use that and break it down, because like you said, there's so many levels to baseball, and over the radio you can really get into all of those smaller levels that matter so much.
Owens flares one out to right. Throw to the plate is in time to get Krissick, but a run scores. It's 2-0. Yeah, people always talk about how on the radio you got to be more descriptive. For me, especially at the start of this season, I had never worked without an analyst, because in high school at Indiana, it was always pushing like, so-and-so will be your color guy. Especially with students in college, you've got to get both kids reps. So I'm coming in and I go, okay, I'm not Vince Scully, where I prefer to work by myself, or a Chick Hearn, where they literally say, I don't need the analyst, I can fill the time. I struggled with that at the start. When you're with the Blues, I assume you're working by yourself. Did you ever struggle to fill airtime and maybe, in your younger years, you didn't have the stories you do now where you could fill airtime? Did you struggle with that at the start?
I can't say I did. I really I love doing it by myself as well, because it allows me to you can go at your own tempo.
Yeah.
And I really like that, because I like to get into the really deep, like strategic part of baseball and why the certain things are so important and why catchers blocking balls with the runner on second really matters and this and that. And so I found that helps me fill time. I will say this year, because of COVID, I can't interact with our players very much. That has made it difficult to fill time there because you're really starting to grasp a little bit when you don't know the players individually. You can't talk about them as much. And I think that with the Blues, you guys get the chance to be much closer. And I don't know how it's gone for you guys this year with COVID, but for me,
full access.
That's see, when you have that and you can talk about just all the game stuff. I found that time flies. This year, it's been a little more tough because I can't get into the depths of Keonil Choi and what he likes to do on his off days, or how Carlos Duran prepares for a start before a home game, things like that. You just don't have. So it's this year's been kind of shown that there are holes in the armor that I need to kind of start shoring up a bit.
I agree. I mean, I think I definitely have lucked out in that I can go and talk to our players and say, hey, we had an off day Monday. What'd you do? And I can at least, if they tell me, as this is flared out to right, and Bologna is under it in foul ground, to make the catch for the third out. And that'll end the top of the third. The Riptide plate 2 off of Matt Sox and lead 2-0. Hamovitz is the final out, flaring out to right. And that is it for the top of the third. We're going to take a short break. Davis Ellington is joining us, former play-by-play voice for 2 seasons with the Blues. Don't go anywhere. Bottom of the third coming up. It's 2-0 Riptide. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Bottom of the third about to be underway. Ryan Cermak set to lead things off in the bottom of the third. It's 2-0 Riptide as Orange County gets 2 off of Matt Sox. It's exactly what we saw in Matt Sox' last start against the Riptide. It's 2-0, but it's early. We're in the bottom of the third, and Butcher deals the first pitch to Cermak for strike one. We've got Davis Ellington joining us. Davis, I want to ask you about your prep and how that kind of evolved. You said you had never called a game for the Blues. How did you start prepping? What was that first season with the Blues like in terms of your preparation, and how has it evolved now to your single A position?
It has evolved a lot.
I'm sure.
I really kind of leaned on my memory as far as my prep. I did a lot of just watching games and stuff. I tried to remember from week to week who's doing well, who's struggling, and I really relied on not writing a lot of stuff down and just kind of going with it when I was with the Blues. Now that our rosters are bigger and it's much harder to keep track of all of that stuff with as many pitching changes as we have and things like that, what I like to do is I always have my scorebook. I got my names. I have my stats right under the name. I always write them. That's how I always learned in class. Therefore, most of the time I can just remember it after reading it and then writing it. That always helped me. But as far as other prep stuff, we have great access to so many stats. We have this big stat pack we get every day. So I always try to, what I do is I'll take it out. My partner, he will actually tape it down to the wall and to his desk.
Cermak sends one out to left. Allen is under it for the first out.
But as far as other prep, I mean, a lot of it is I like to watch batting practice. I like to kind of see how the guys are doing that day. Okay. I feel like that brings more. It's just the little extra stuff that not everyone's doing that makes your broadcast a little bit more interesting. Like, okay, Sam McWilliams has been hurt. He had food poisoning actually a couple days ago.
Wow.
He's coming back. He didn't look that bad in BP, and then he has a good day, and you can attribute it to, okay, well, I saw him do this and this.
Sure.
So just being observant, I think, for me has really been key. And organization, man, with all those stats and stuff, you can get lost. And I've tripped over myself a couple of times
Absolutely.
on air. So finding a way to keep everything kind of in its spot and know when to go to stuff, it's a lot of just repetition. And as you kind of shake it out, you figure out where you like to have your stats and when you like to get them in there kind of stuff.
Absolutely. 2-0 is the count to TJ Clarkson. 1 gone. Bottom of the third. Fouled back, and now it's 2-1. It's 2-0 Riptide. Davis Ellington joining us. So you're all in on baseball. Don't want to work in another sport. Did you play?
Yes.
You did. Okay.
So
What was the playing career like for Davis Ellington?
Playing career for Davis Ellington was a 5'8" kid that was a decent pitcher that didn't throw a shade over 85 miles an hour. I was a scrappy corner infielder, which is ridiculous for my height and build. But I mean, it was good. I was lucky enough to play on a high school team that at one point was ranked number 1 in the country.
Wow.
And produced 9 D1 baseball players out of our senior year lineup. And I rode their coattails to a couple CIF championships and cashed
You get
my
some
chips
rings?
in. Got a couple
There you
rings,
go.
cashed my chips in,
Yeah.
and headed to the booth where it was much more safe.
Agreed, my friend. Here's Grotto. Swung on and missed. 2 gone in the bottom of the third. 2-0 Riptide. So back to the Blues. Was there a specific player that maybe was with the team for both seasons that you were? But what were your connections like with some of the players with the Blues? Did you get the chance to get close to the guys on the road, talk to them? Talk about what that was like in terms of getting to know the guys. And honestly, that's where you can get your best intel is just when they're on the road, you guys stop to get food, you're eating with them. What was that like? We're talking to the players.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, in San Luis Obispo there's so much stuff to do. So like a lot of players ask me, what should I do on my off day? Things like that. And you get talking with them on the road and stuff. I actually am friends with some of them, like still on Snapchat. We follow each other on Twitter.
Nice.
I made a couple really good friendships along the way. Once they it's weird as a broadcaster. And I feel like if you haven't gone through this, you definitely will, where players definitely test your baseball acumen.
Oh, yeah.
And try to make sure that you do know what you're talking about before they kind of accept you as a person worth of hanging out with. And I kind of passed that test
Good.
with some guys and then kind of got let in. And it was a lot of fun, man. It developed some really good friendships. Got to see a couple get drafted, send them little like tweets like, hey, like nice job. And it's fun. You get those little friendships along the way that you otherwise would not have had.
It's definitely an awesome experience here in the CCL and with any summer league team. I want to keep you here for just a couple minutes. The third inning ends with Clarkson and Grotto striking out. It's still 2-0 Riptide as we'll head to the top of the fourth. Davis Ellington joining us. My last question for you, and this is because I like to ask everyone that's into broadcasting, your favorite play-by-play guy of all time, and maybe one that's going currently. Wouldn't be shocked if you say Joe Davis.
So my favorite is Greg Papa.
Wow.
I grew up a Raider fan.
Old school.
And they were always blacked out because they were terrible when I was growing up. So I had to listen to them on the radio. And I loved how critical he was of his own team. I thought that he is the most real broadcaster. And I tried to emulate that in my work. I'm sure I've angered some parents and fans, and I definitely have. Of being true, and I like that he did that. He kept it real on the air, and I thought that was something that I wanted to do. And currently, there's a couple guys I listen. I don't follow anyone in particular. I have a lot of respect for guys that do hockey. So the Sharks broadcasters, the Blackhawks guy, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, is really good. But those guys, man, there's some other tough sports out there. But yes, I've heard a lot of Joe Davis now that I work with the Dodgers. So I can default to that of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's always playing on our TV in the booth because we always have to keep an eye on what the Dodgers are doing day in and day out.
You have to. Davis Ellington, broadcaster for the Single A Dodgers affiliate, former play-by-play voice for 2 seasons. Top of the Fourth about to get started. I really can't thank you enough for taking the time. It was really cool for me. And just hope you're enjoying being back here because I know everyone around here loves you. That was around when you were. And I just hope you have a great rest of your time here.
Oh, thanks, man. I'm having a blast. And the one thing I wanted to say
Please.
to you is, well, two things. A, you will get a foul ball. I got 2 in 2 years.
I've been waiting.
In here. It'll come.
I got 5 more
There is an
games.
angle that works.
Okay.
So that's possible. And B, as far as someone just, I mean, you're doing an awesome job here with the Blues. And just the one piece of advice I've gotten since being in pro ball that I think everyone needs to hear,
Please.
that's into radio of any type, is when you're asking for like advice, if you meet someone, if you go to the winter meetings and you run into a Joe Davis or something and somehow get your tape in their hands, a lot of people always ask for criticism and for pointers from those guys, but they're always going to give you pointers based on their skills. And there's so many people that are so different. I just want you to remember, don't change who you are. And as long as you're doing your style, man, that's the best thing you can do. I think there's a guy I know who he was in the final running for the Twins, and he gave me that advice my very first day on the call. And I thought that was really, really smart. Was you can only do you because that's going to be the best version of your calls.
I think it's great advice. That's mentally in the mind for the rest of time. So
Awesome.
I appreciate that, Davis.
Hey, this has been a lot of fun, man. This has been a great time. So happy to be back. Hoping the Blues can pull this one out. Their pitcher is bringing some gas.
Ball 3. No, this guy leads the CCL in strikeouts. Senior out of the University of Utah. He's got some of the nastiest changeups and curveball combinations. Matt Sox is a very special pitcher, the ace for the Blues this season, and they've gotten to him for 2, but this whole season he's put on an absolute show. It's been fun just watching this entire team. Swung on and missed strike 3.
I will let you get back to doing what you do best, man. Thank you so much. It's been an absolute blast.
Davis, awesome meeting you. Seriously, absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
That was so cool. Davis Ellington, kind enough to join us for an inning and an out for us here on the Blue Streaming Network. That was awesome. Getting to talk to Davis, former play-by-play voice of the Blues for 2 seasons. If you remember Davis, hope that was cool for you. He's around Sinsheimer Park. Sox is dealing now, as that is strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. It's 2-0 Riptide. We're in the top of the 4th. That is strike 2. Emilio Rosas stands in with 1 out and no one on in the top of the 4th. That was cool for me, getting a chance to talk to Davis. Was around this organization for 2 whole summers. 0-2 pitch. In there, strike 3 called, and he got him. Two gone now, and 5 strikeouts for Sox. Here's Efren Cervantes, who grounded out to the pitcher. His first time up. He's 0 for 1. No one on and 2 outs for him. It's 2-0 Riptide. We're in the top of the 4th. That was just really cool for me. I love just obviously getting the chance to talk broadcasting, talk really anything with anyone that's affiliated with a professional organization like Davis is, working for the single-A affiliate of the Los Angeles Dodgers. That was strike 1. Hope you guys enjoyed it. That was a thrill for me. And Davis is just an all-around good dude. No question about it. 0-1 to Cervantes. Top 4, 2 out. Checked his swing. Did he go around? He did not. It's 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. Popped up, and Shell will have a look at it. Against the netting, he makes the play. And that is the 3rd out. Matt Sox, after giving up 2 in the top of the 3rd, retires the Riptide in order. 1, 2, 3. Strikes out Taylor and Rosas and gets Cervantes to pop out. That's it for the top of the 4th. It's 2-0 Riptide. And the Blues Bats will have their chance to change that in the home half of the 4th when we come back. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back with you. And we can't thank you enough for making Blues baseball part of your Tuesday evening. Here on the Blue Streaming Network, I'm Zach Ibrahim. I'll be right back. Thanks for hanging out as always. Welcome back. Bottom of the fourth about to be underway. It's 2-0 Riptide. This is the sixth and final meeting between the Blues and Riptide this season, and it's the fourth inning of work for Sherez Butcher, who is pitched 3 scoreless innings so far against the Blues, has not allowed a hit, and Shell will stand in. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Stands in, leading off the bottom of the fourth. No one on, no one out. Butcher to the plate. Ball 1, as that one was a bit high. Butcher has struck out 3, walked 1, and hit 2. Strike 1. Shellback's doing the catching, a little banged up, but he's back. Did not play in either game on the road trip. 1-1 pitch. Strike 2, but did travel with the team, of course. Austin hanging around the guys. Blues have gotten back in the time since the quarantine. Shell and Esperanza back, their 2 main starting catchers, as that misses for ball 2, and the count's even. And they missed 2 starting catchers. Mark Armstrong was good enough to fill the void and come in and at least catch some of those games, but Blues certainly struggled in the 6 games without him. They went 1-5, as that is fouled down the left field line. Still 2-2. I think it speaks to the importance of the Blues and having a catcher that has camaraderie and is comfortable and is familiar with whatever pitcher is on the mound. Shell and Esperanza, obviously both, they fit that void. 2-2 pitch. Popped up and drifting out of play. Taylor thinks he has a look at it. It'll land in the Blues dugout. Count's still 2-2. It's 2-0 Riptide, and we're in the bottom of the fourth. Talked to head coach Bob Miller about those 6 games and how tough it was. He said, listen, we didn't have a starting catcher, and it was like not having a starting quarterback. It was like having no quarterback, because you brought in catchers who were catching guys for the first time, meeting them for the first time, no familiarity whatsoever. 2-2 pitch to Shell. In there, strike 3 called, and he got him. Butcher has struck out 3 straight Blues. Clarkson, Grotto, and now Shell looking. Samuelson stands in 0-1. 2-0 Riptide. We're in the bottom of the fourth. No one on and 1 gone for Tate Samuelson. Grounded out to third his first time out. First time up. He is 0-1. Butcher to the plate. Swung on a miss, strike 1. So he is trying to do what he did. He'll actually top himself if he goes 5 full without giving up a hit. I don't mean to look too far in advance, but he's been great so far. 0-1, Samuelson. It misses for ball 1, and the count is even. Davis Ellington, former play-by-play voice of the Blues for 2 summers, kind enough to join us in that 3rd inning. Davis is awesome. 1-1. Samuelson takes as it's bounced for ball 2. Another great crowd on hand, and it's another perfect day for baseball, as I love to say. Perfect night, as temperatures are in the low 70s here in San Luis Obispo. Tuesday evening, and where would you rather be? 2-1. I wouldn't rather be anywhere. Samuelson grounds this one to Rosas at third. He'll spin. He'll throw. He'll not get him out as it pulled Owens off the bag, and Samuelson reaches. It's the first hit for the Blues. Here's Martinez to bat with Samuelson on first and 1 out in the bottom of the fourth. Still 2-0 Riptide.
Here's number 4, the designated hitter, Vince Martinez.
Butcher went 5 full without giving up a run against the Blues back on the 20th, and he only gave up 1 hit. Coming into this inning, he had thrown 41 pitches. He's been efficient, and he's been effective. And he throws over to first check on Samuelson, who's safe, and now stands in to face Martinez. Here's the pitch. Strike 1. Oh, 1 the count to Martinez. Stands in with a runner in scoring position. Vince with the average at 277. Takes strike 2 on the outside part of the plate. Shrugs off the call a bit. Talks to the home plate umpire. Says, all right, sure. It's 0-2. Samuelson's safe at first with 1 gone in the bottom of the fourth. 0-2 is the count to Vince Martinez, catcher from Stanford. Butcher to the plate, 0-2. Got him swinging. And he's been sharp. He has struck out 5 Blues. The single to Samuelson was, well, he's safe there just because Rosas couldn't throw to first after spinning and doing a pirouette to Owens. So Samuelson is aboard with the first base hit. But Shell and Martinez have been struck out, and now it's up to Kretschmar. With 2 gone and 1 man on in the bottom of the 4th, it's 2-0 Riptide. Kretschmar grounded out to third his first time up. He's 0 for 1, and Butcher delivers ball 1 to the plate, as that one was high and an easy take for Austin. Kretschmar, the average at 277. Takes strike 1. Butcher, his last time out, struck out 5 Blues. In 5 innings, he's done so already through 3 2/3. It was his season high for strikeouts. Chance to top that here. 1-1 pitch, taken in the dirt, and Samuelson, who was in the area between first and second, where if you have a lead, you might as well go, but decides to head back into first. He's still safe, and the count is 2-1 to Austin Kretschmar. 2 outs, bottom 4 here at Sinsheimer Park. It's 2-0 Riptide. Grounded, foul to the left side. Count is 2-2 now. Butcher is a strike away from holding the Blues scoreless through 4. This is his second start of the season, his second start against the Blues. He was here pitching against them a week ago today. 2 balls and 2 strikes. He seems to be comfortable. Kretschmar awaits a 2-2. It's a breaking ball in there for strike 3 called. He's got six strikeouts, a new season high, and he's gone through 4, holding the Blues scoreless on 1 hit. Struck out everyone except for Samuelson, who reached on an infield single. We're through 4, and it's still 2-0 Orange County. Sox, who responded with a 1-2-3 top of the 4th after allowing 2 runs to score in the top of the 3rd, will be back for a 5th inning of work in the top of the 5th when we come back. It is 2-0 Orange County. I'm going to take a short break and be right back with you. You're listening to Blues Baseball on the Blues Streaming Network, and we couldn't be happier to have you along with us for your Tuesday evening. I'll be right back. Dizzy Bat Race taking place. Attendance. Thank you. How many people are here? I'm going to take a guess, and I'll be back. Top 5 underway. Dwight Allen to lead things off for the Riptide. They lead 2-0 against Matt Sox, who's fifth inning to pitch. And Allen 0 for 1 with a fly out to center thus far. Sox has retired 4 Riptide in a row. Curveball misses, ball 1. We've seen him throw the curveball now. Different times in every at-bat. 1-0 pitch to Allen. No one on, no one out. Missing with the fastball, and it's 2-0. Two of the CCL All-Stars that were on the Riptide's roster that played in Compton in the showcase game, as that one is popped up. And Cermak is under it in center, calling for it and making the play. There's one gone as Allen has flown out to center his first 2 at-bats. He's 0 for 2. So 2 of the guys, Eric Bajani and Kyle Booker, are not with the team anymore. And that's a good thing for the Blues. Bajani had his only homer of the season against the Blues in Irvine. Booker had a batting average of close to 500 against Blues pitching. Both were CCL All-Stars. Both are no longer with the team. They still lead 2-0, and here's Terrence Simmons. Taking ball 1. He walked his last time to the plate. Technically, he's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That led off the top of the first. He's batting now in the top of the 5th with no one on and 1 gone. His team ahead 2-0. Strike 2. Strike 1, excuse me. The count is even at 1-1. Sox has struck out 5. This one's popped up and out of play. Well, now Shell's under it. It's in fair ground and foul ground, and he'll make the catch. 2 gone. 2 quick outs of Allen and Simmons have the bases empty for Colton Freeman. 2 outs, top of the 5th. It's 2-0 Riptide. You'd have to think Sherez Butcher will be strutting out there for the bottom of the 5th. Sox not worried about that. He's trying to do his part and keep this at a 2-0 deficit. There's the curveball, and it's in there for strike 1. Freeman 1 for 2 with a single that came in the top of the 3rd, in which the Riptide would score 2 on RBI singles from Krissick and Owens. A 1 pitch, flared out to left. Ranging back is Grotto to make the catch and retire the side. It's a second straight 1-2-3 inning for Matt Sox. After giving up 2 runs in the top of the 3rd, he has retired now 7 Riptide players in a row. It's still 2-0 Orange County as we'll head into the bottom of the 5th. And while we have a moment, I want to thank one of our many generous sponsors of the San Luis Obispo Blues. We want to thank Club Cannon. They supply all the CO2 cannons here at Sinsheimer Park that go off when the Blues score. We have yet to see them go off, but when they do, we will thank Club Cannon as they sponsor those specifically. It's 2-0 Orange County. Bottom of the 5th underway. Sherez Butcher's still out there. He's trying to match exactly what he did against the Blues in his first start of the season. This is his second, and he'll be on to pitch a 5th inning of work. It's 2-0 Riptide. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back with you. Thanks for hanging out. Bologna lines one to third, and it's the first out. One pitch and a hard liner to third. Bologna, who had walked his first time up, sees the first pitch from Butcher and sends it directly into the glove of Emilio Rosas for the first out here in the bottom of the fifth. One gone for Mercado, no one on, bottom five. Butcher, one pitch and one quick out as the pitch count, as he delivers strike one, is still so workable that we'll see how this bottom of the fifth goes, but and you might be looking at a sixth inning of work if the Blues can't break one off. 0-1. Mercado, soft liner to center, and it's the second hit, and they shut me up. Mercado is safe at first with a single. Setting the table for the top of the order, Cermak steps to the plate for his second at-bat. He was hit by a pitch to lead off the ballgame. He flew out to left his last time up. Now bats with Mercado on first and one gone in the bottom of the fifth. It's 2-0 Orange County. Butcher deals ball one. Cermak against the Riptide this season is 1 for 12 with a walk. But overall, since returning, coming into tonight, he's 6 for 15, 7 RBIs, 3 extra base hits, and a walk. He's been unreal at the top of the lineup as he swings and misses through strike one. The count is even at 1-1. Mercado still safe at first after singling to center. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mercado takes off for second. Cermak takes ball 2. Throw in from Taylor. Gets away, and it's a stolen bag for Mercado. He's in scoring position for Cermak, who's now in a 2-1 count. It's the second stolen base for the Blues tonight. Cermak had the first. Now Mercado has the second. He's at second in scoring position with just 1 gone here in the bottom of the fifth. 2-1 is the count to Cermak. He awaits a fourth pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 2. Cermak in that trip down to Irvine, he struggled against the Riptide. It's a different team almost, but he still struggled. He went 0 for 8 with 4 strikeouts. Here's a 2-2 pitch from Butcher. This one is grounded to Cervantes at short. Not in time to get Cermak as he legs out an infield single. It's back-to-back hits, and with Mercado running on contact after stealing second base, he's at third and Cermak's at first. Runners at the corners with just 1 gone for TJ Clarkson. TJ against the Riptide, also 1 for 12. The 1 hit was a 2 RBI double. He has walked 4 times. Ducks on the pond for him. Men on first and third. 1 gone. We're in the bottom of the fifth. Strike 1. It's 2-0 Riptide. Blues looking to change that. They had this same situation, but with 2 outs in the first. Men on first and third. This time it's men on first and third with 1 out. In the bottom of the fifth, we'll see if they can come through. 0-1 pitch to Clarkson as Cermak takes off for second. This one's lined out to shallow left. Mercado's going to score, and Cermak, who was running to steal second, is into third. It's an RBI single for Clarkson, and it's 2-1. They've cut the lead in half, and Clarkson trades places with Cermak. Cermak trades places with Mercado. Still men on first and third with 1 out for Grotto. The RBI leader in the CCL, Butcher, gets him to foul one off to the left side. It's 0-1. For Clarkson, it's his second hit against the Riptide. It's his second hit against the Riptide that have driven in runs. For TJ, it's RBI number 14 for him. Grotto stands in. 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball that's in there for strike 2. Clarkson, who sent one off the end of his bat to left in opposite field, RBI single, is safe at first. 0-2 pitch to Grotto. Hit out to shallow center, ranging on and diving and making the catch is Simmons. Cermak is tagging. He is scoring. We are tied at 2, and it is RBI 39 for Mason Grotto. And when the Blues score, you still score. It's 2-2. Here's Shell with Clarkson still at first, and now a tie ball game. Meeting of the minds on the mound between the Riptide manager and Sherez Butcher. The day is done for Sherez Butcher. The Blues finally get to him. They plate 2 in the bottom of the 5th to tie the ball game, and now there will be a pitching change. We'll introduce you to the new Riptide arm when we come back. All you need to know is it's a brand new ball game. TJ Clarkson is safe at first with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th, and Shell will be at the plate in what is now a 2-2 ball game. I'm going to take a short break. I'll introduce you to the man on the mound when we come back. Thanks for hanging out. Outing over for Sherez Butcher. Ends up giving up 2. He's on the hook for Clarkson at first. Unable to do what he did to the Blues on the 20th. It's 2-2, and Shell is on to face newly inserted right-handed pitcher, a freshman at Illinois. It's Andrew Pogue. Shell takes strike 1 from Pogue. This will be his 13th appearance. Hometown of Peoria. 6'5" right-hander, has an ERA of 3.66. He's actually started 3 games. 0-1 pitch to Shell. Strike 2. He's been phenomenal. Not only against the Blues, but this season. He's been especially good against the Blues, though. Pitched against them on the 29th of June. 3 2/3. Only gave up 2 hits in that shutout victory. Then he pitched against them on the 20th in the 1-run victory. 2 full innings pitched, 1 hit allowed, struck out 3. He is dangerous. Picked up a save to get them the win. 0-2 to Shell. Breaking ball just misses. He was about to strut off the mound. Thought he had a 3-pitch strikeout. He's coming off of his worst outing of the year, and that's what I find fascinating. He gave up 3 earned runs on 6 hits against the Oaks in a losing effort as he deals strike 3 to Shell. Looking, that ends the inning, but not before the Blues plate 2 to tie it at 2-2. RBIs from Clarkson and Grotto get the scoring started here at Sinsheimer Park. It's a brand new ball game. It's a good one, as promised and as always, between the Blues and Riptide, as we will throw tennis balls at that white bucket behind home plate. I'll take a short break and be right back with you. Top of the sixth coming up. It's tied at 2. You won't go anywhere, will you? Back with you for the top of the sixth. Brand new ball game. Scott score tied at 2. Newly inserted right-hander is Noah Bullard, delivering ball 1 to Austin Krissick, who drove in the first run of the day for the Riptide. They led 2-0 until the Blues' bottom of the fifth when they plated 2 to tie us. 1-0. Missing high and inside, ball 2. Noah, 6-foot right-hander, junior at Santa Barbara City College. Paso Robles is his hometown. ERA of 6.42. This is his 5th appearance as a Blue. Pitching in a tie ball game in the top of the 6th. 2-0. Krissick lines one to left, and that'll drop in fair territory for a base hit. He'll be safe at first with a leadoff single. Bullard, who's coming off of his best outing as a Blue, went 2 full innings in that loss to the Riptide back on the 20th, so he hasn't pitched in a week. Gave up no hits, no runs, walked a man, but struck out 3. Noah was excellent, and we'll be looking to repeat that performance, even though he's given up a hit here. Leadoff man on for the Riptide, it's Krissick, and now Clayton Owens to the plate, who followed Krissick's RBI single up with one of his own. Back in the third. Ball 1. Krissick is safe at first. Owens is in a 1-0 count at the plate. Taking strike 1 as the count evens. One ball and 1 strike to Owens. Flared out to left. Grotto ranges to his left and makes the grab. 1 gone. Here's Hamovitz, who this is just his 5th game as a member of the Riptide. He's shown to be dangerous. He has walked and flown out to right so far. The average coming into tonight, 529. 9 hits and 17 at-bats. Couple doubles, 4 RBIs. Has only struck out twice. Takes high and over his head for ball 1 from Bullard. We are tied at 2 in the top of the 6th. Riptide had their leadoff man on. It's Krissick. He's safe at first now with 1 gone for Hamovitz. One ball and no strikes. Ball 2 misses. Bullard's second time pitching against the Riptide was excellent. Last time out a week ago today. 2-0 pitch. Hit out to left center. Grotto and Cermak. Grotto! Did he make the catch? They'll say he did. Wow. That was either man's ball, Grotto or Cermak. I don't even know if they called each other off, but Grotto dove and made a snow cone catch as that was poking out of the top of his glove. You could see it, but it was in there. It was caught. It's out number 2, saving extra bases against Hamovitz. Bringing Taylor to the plate, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Krissick is still safe at first, and Bullard looking for an opening, scoreless inning of relief. Plays like that in a tie ball game go a long way. Fouled off as it's 0-1. Long way to keeping it close, to keeping it tied, to possibly getting your team the win. Grotto has already contributed an RBI, sac fly, to tie it at 2. Now makes a catch that saves extra bases. 2 gone in the top of the 6th with Krissick at first and Taylor at the plate in an 0-1 count. Bit high, count even at 1-1. One ball and 1 strike. Taylor's average also high. 282. Grounded to Kretschmar at second. Tosses to Mercado, and that is the force out at second to get the 3rd out in the 6th, and that'll end the inning. Riptide go quietly in the top of the 6th. Home half coming up. It'll be Tate Samuelson due up. He's 1 for 2 already. Tied at 2 here at Sinsheimer Park. And while we have a moment in between innings, we want to thank one of our many generous sponsors of the San Luis Obispo Blues. We want to thank High Street Deli. High Street Deli, they make incredible sandwiches here in the San Luis Obispo area. One of our many generous sponsors. They even give us sandwiches for our trips on the road, and we don't get sick of them. Turkey, roast beef, pastrami, doesn't make a difference. If you're looking for some of the best Dutch crunch bread you've ever had in your life, check out our friends at High Street Deli. They've got you covered. And we're tied at 2. Bottom of the 6th coming up. Pogue still out there pitching for the Riptide. I'm going to take a short break. I'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere. It's tied at 2. Bottom 6 now, tie ball game. The Blues' third baseman, Tate Samuelson, 1 for 2. Reached on an air his last time up. Takes ball 1 from CCL All-Star Andrew Pogue. Both these players in that showcase game. Tate got a base hit, scored a run in that game. Pogue came in, pitched a scoreless inning, as he's done a lot this season. 1-0 pitch. Samuelson swings and misses. It's 1-1. Tate against the Riptide this season in the 5 games prior. 8 for 19, 3 RBIs, 5 walks. He's been getting on base. In the shutout loss back on the 29th, as he takes ball 2. He had 2 of their 3 hits in that one, in which they were held to their season low in runs, of course, and hits allowed. 2 balls and 1 strike. All-Star pitching to All-Star. And that's strike 2 to get the count back to even. Our score is even at 2-2. Bottom 6 underway. Samuelson leading things off. Local player out of Cal Poly SLO. Hometown of San Diego. 2-2 pitch. Taking ball 3. Counts full. Here's a payoff pitch. Got him swinging. That's the first out, bringing Martinez to the plate, who's 0 for 2. Ground out and a strikeout, Vince. Did not start in the game against the Oaks. Came in to pinch hit, was the tying run in that one. Ended up getting on base. Slow roller down the left field line. It would be a single. He'd be safe at first. Bringing Samuelson to the plate. He didn't start in that one either, as they both got days off from playing the field. Martinez takes ball 1. Well, Martinez doesn't play the field, he DHs, but Samuelson did. Both men came in to pinch hit. Then both men would start the next day against the Oaks in their 11-4 victory. 1-0 pitch. Try to frame that one, and it's 2-0. So Pogue pitches in the Big Ten for Illinois. 2 balls, no strikes to Martinez. Skied out to left. High fly ball that is caught by Dwight Allen, and that's the second out. Andrew Pogue on the mound, pitcher from Illinois, literally from Peoria, but also goes to school in Champaign, and probably, I'll have to look it up, but may have pitched to one of his teammates on the Riptide, Tank Esplalen, who was a shortstop for the Indiana Hoosiers last spring. Undecided on where he'll play next spring. Unfortunately, we wish we could have Tank back in Bloomington. He was awesome with with his hands, incredible hands. Kretschmar shows bunt, pulls away, ball 1. So at some point, Pogue may have pitched to Esplalen. Now they're teammates in summer ball. Kretschmar and Martinez are teammates. Martinez flew out. Here's Kretschmar. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball, misses for ball 2. There's 2 gone in the bottom of the 6th. It's 2-2. It's quickly 3-0 to Austin Kretschmar. 0 for 2 today. Grounded out and struck out. Rio pitch. Ball 4. Works a walk, and he's the first base runner for the Blues in the inning. First time Kretschmar's reached tonight. Bringing Bologna to the plate. The only time he reached was on a walk back in the second.
Vinny Bologna.
Tonight, Kretschmar is safe at first after working a walk. It was a 4-pitch one, and here's the first pitch to Bologna. Checked his swing and took strike 1. Last time these two teams played, we were looking at a tied ball game, 2-2, heading into the top of the 7th. That's what we're looking at here, unless the Blues score. Again, Zach gets ahead of himself, but here's an 0-1. Taken for ball 1 as the count evens. Now, the Riptide, last time these two teams played, again, we'll document it for you, back on July 20th, and what ended up being a 3-2 loss. Riptide would score in the first, score in the second. Not score the rest of the way. Blues would plate 2 in the bottom of the 6th to tie it at 2. Here's a 1-1. That misses high for ball 2. And then in the top of the 7th, the Blues would have a costly inning. An error would be committed, and the Riptide would score 1 to make it 3-2. That would be the final. Blues were unable to rally. Very evenly played game. Blues missing several starters. I have to mention that. 2 balls and 1 strike to Bologna. Checked his swing, but fouled it off. It's 2-2, and it's a souvenir. That's what we're looking at. This one is very similar. Riptide plated 2 in the top of the 3rd. Blues plated 2 just in the bottom of the 5th. We're in the bottom of the 6th now. We'll see what the top of the 7th holds for us. We'll see what the rest of the game does, as it's been a good one so far. Blues and Riptide for the 6th time this season. It's game 38 for the Blues. 2-2 pitch. Bologna pops it up towards us and on top of the press box. Oh, it lands. Another souvenir. And the children dive on each other for the foul ball. It is life and death in the grassy area for foul balls with these kids. It is a life and death situation. It is all that matters. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Bologna. Kretschmar's taking off for second. Bologna took ball 3, and now Austin's in scoring position. It's the 3rd stolen base for the Blues, and he's safe at second. For Kretschmar, it's his 4th stolen base. He's safe at second, and the count has been worked full to Vinny Bologna as Pogue will step off and cycle through the signs again with Taylor and deliver a full count pitch, a payoff pitch to Vinny Bologna, who has only reached on a walk. Got him swinging. That ends the inning. The stolen base is a moot point, and we'll head to the top of the 7th. Tied at 2, as we did last time these two teams played. They really play each other hard. Very evenly matched. And they are in the standings as well. 1 game separates these two teams. Blues in 2nd place in the South. Riptide in 3rd. A win for the Riptide would tie them with the Blues for 2nd and put them in good position heading in to the playoffs. Blues would not like to hear any of that. They want to win. They want to gain a game on a team that's beneath them, and they want to secure their position in Lincoln. If they lose this one, or if they win it, it looks like a 3-win week would just about lock that up. Noah Bullard is trying to lock down the Riptide offense when we come back in the top of the 7th. I'm Zach Ebrahim. I'm going to take a short break. Hope you've enjoyed this one as much as I have, and as always, thanks for hanging out. Welcome back. Top of the 7th underway. We're tied at 2. Bullard deals to Rosas. Ball 1. So I'll say it again. This is the exact same way we entered the top of the 7th, the last game between these two teams. The main difference is there are different players on the mound and different players in the lineup for the Blues, as they did not have their starters, several of them, last time these two teams played. 1-0 pitch. That misses for ball 2. Rosas leading off the top of the 7th for Orange County. He's 0 for 2. He has struck out once. Bullard worked around a leadoff single in his first inning relief. Pitched a scoreless one, looking to do the same in the top of the 7th. 2-0 pitch hits Rosas. It was a breaking ball. It fell out of his hand, and the base runner, the leadoff man, is aboard for the second straight inning. Here's Rosas. Rosas is now safe at first, Here's Cervantes. He's 0 for 2 as well. Bottom of the lineup has not set up anything for the top of the lineup. It's been the top 3 and then the meat of this order that have done the damage so far. Bullard deals. It's popped up, and Clarkson is there for the catch. 1 gone. Here's Allen. Also 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts to center. One gone, top 7, 1 man on. It's Rosas who was just hit by a pitch. Allen checks and takes strike 1. Bullard able to pitch around the leadoff single from Krisick in the 6th. Hits Rosas to send the leadoff man to first in the top of the 7th now. And gets the out of Cervantes. Now deals to Allen, way inside. Almost hit him if he didn't get out of the way. And the count's even at 1-1. One ball and 1 strike to Dwight Allen. Strike 2. See how many outs and innings Bullard is asked with getting from Dean Traynor and Bob Miller. Got 6 last time out against the Riptide. Has gotten 4. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Inside and missed for ball 2, count even. The runner at first is Rosas. He was hit by a pitch. First Riptide batter that's been hit by a pitch. Blues batters have been hit twice. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Allen pops it up. Cermak. High fly ball. Makes the catch. 2 gone. Back to the top of the Riptide order and Simmons. Terrence Simmons has only reached on a walk. Other than that, he's 0 for 2.
Number 26, Terrence Simmons.
Rosas safe at first still. There's 2 gone. We're in the top of the 7th, and we're tied at 2. First pitch from Bullard to Simmons. Missing high, ball 1. The Riptide, who play the Blues tonight, obviously, will have to go on to play the Foresters twice, the Saints and Oaks one more time each. It is arguably the toughest stretch of games left for any team in the South. The Blues are done playing the Foresters. They'll play the Saints and Oaks one more time after the game against the Riptide tonight, and they'll welcome the last place Barons for games this week on Saturday and Sunday to wrap up the regular season. They have not lost the Barons. They're 4-0 against them. This is a big one for both teams. 2-0, swung on and missed. It's 2-1. So the Riptide are up against it as this season goes on. They've got a half-game lead over the Oaks, and we'll play them in their second-to-last game this season, that game could end up dictating who's the third playoff team from the South going to Lincoln, as that's flared out to left and foul. The count is 2-2 to Terrence Simmons now. Riptide win tonight. They're tied with the Blues, and there's nothing the Blues can do about it other than go on to try and win 3 more in their final 4. We'll have the Saints in town tomorrow. First place Saints, who the Riptide just beat, by the way, 10-2. 2-2 pitch. Flared out and foul. It's 2-2, excuse me. Yeah, Riptide coming off that 10-2 win over the Saints. Saints have now lost 2 in a row, but are still in first place, as the Blues are 2.5 games behind them for the 1 seed. That game tomorrow, if they win tonight, is huge if the Blues want that first round bye in the playoffs when we go to Lincoln, hopefully. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 gone, top 7. Inside and missing for ball 3. Count is full. Rosas, who was hit by a pitch leading off the inning, is still safe at first, but now there's 2 gone. And Terrence Simmons is in a 3-2 count. Payoff pitch. Grounded, foul to the right side. And this has become a mini battle. We are tied at 2. And we're in the top of the 7th. Second straight payoff pitch. This one is fouled off. Barely. Simmons stays alive to see another pitch. Two gone, top 7. Runner on first is Rosas. This will be the 9th pitch from Bullard to Simmons, and we'll see who eventually wins the battle. Foul to the right side, and there will be a 10th pitch. Should mention Zach McCleve is warming in the Blues bullpen. McCleve, who pitched 2 innings of relief back in Compton. Will we see him again? 3-2 the count. This will be the 10th pitch of this at-bat. Bullard trying to pitch a scoreless top of the 7th. Swung on and missed strike 3. He got him on the 10th, and Bullard wins and gets his first strikeout out of the pen. It's a big one. It strands a leadoff runner on first. He stranded one on first in the top of the 6th. Bullard has done exactly what he did the last time he pitched against the Riptide. He's gone 2 full, scoreless, struck out now 1, and only gave up 1 hit, no runs. We'll head to the bottom of the 7th, still tied at 2. Don't want to miss the finish of this one, do you? Tell your friends, tell everyone, come on and join us here on the Blue Streaming Network. We couldn't be happier to have you along with us, and thanks for making us a part of your Tuesday evening. I'm going to take a short break. We'll sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. We'll stretch, more importantly, and be back. Bottom 7, tied at 2. Thanks for hanging out, as always. We're in the bottom of the 7th, and we are tied at 2. Mercado set to lead things off for the Blues against Andrew Pogue. He's still out there. Last time up, Ruben singled, stole a bag, would end up coming around to score on a TJ Clarkson RBI single. That was the first run of the game for the Blues. Mercado takes strike 1. Now in Mercado's time against the Riptide, he's got 5 hits. He has scored a couple runs. He's driven into himself. He set the table for the top of the order. 0-1 pitch. Fouled off to the right side, and it's 0-2. Temperatures beginning to drop here in SLO in our open air press box. It's about time for me to grab a sweatshirt. 0-2 is the count. No one on, no one out. Tie ball game. Bottom 7. And Pogue delivers an 0-2 to Mercado. Fouled off to the right side again, and it is still 0-2. This is Mercado's first time facing Pogue tonight. Checked his swing. Did he go around? He did not. It's 1-2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Mercado. He is 1 for 2 with a single, stolen base, and a run scored. Here's the pitch. Lined out into left center, and a base hit for Mercado, his second straight. He's 2 for 3, bringing Cermak to the plate. Here's Cermak. He is 1 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and singled. He came around to score on Mason Grotto's sac fly and RBI. He's the run that tied it at 2. Pogue throws over to first, checking on Mercado. He has already run and stolen a bag in this one. Blues have stolen 3 overall tonight. And they've got their leadoff man on. In the bottom of the 7th in a tie ball game, it's 2-2. Pogue to the plate. Cermak checked his swing, but went around. It's strike 1. This is Pogue's first time dealing to Cermak. The two have seen each other before, though. Cermak, since returning, it's been well documented. He's red hot. Time's been called. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Our score is 2-2. Mercado safe at first after his leadoff single. 0-2 pitch to Cermak. Checked his swing and took ball 1. One ball and 2 strikes to Cermak. Lined out through the left side beyond the reach of Cervantes. It's back-to-back singles for Mercado and Cermak. It's men on first and second for Clarkson, and there's still no outs. Blues have not plated a runoff of Pogue the whole season. They've seen him twice. Okay, this is the 6th meeting between these two teams, the 6th and final. And they're trying to do something they have not done all season. And that's played a run against this man, Andrew Pogue. Clarkson shows bunt, pulls away and takes ball 1. In his first 2 appearances against the Blues, he gave up 3 combined hits. He's given up 2 in this inning. 1 ball and no strikes to TJ Clarkson. Drove in the first RBI for the Blues. Shows bunt again. Does not lay that one down. And it's 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Gilbert, Arizona. 1-1 from Pogue, who checks second. Clarkson still showing bunt and pulling away. He just took strike 2. And there's no question. He's getting the sign from Bob Miller there down at third base. He's telling him to lay the bunt down, advance both runners. If they advance on the bunt, would be in scoring position. We'll see if the bunt is still on or if it's off. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. There's no outs in the bottom of the 7th, and we're tied at 2. Took a breaking ball for ball 2, and the count is even. Mercado's at second and Cermak's at first. They've gotten back-to-back singles. Pogue looks in and gets the sign from Taylor. Delivers a 2-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. That's the first out, and it's a huge one in the bottom of the 7th as Grotto comes to the plate, 0 for 2 with an RBI on a sac fly. It was number 39 for Mason to continue to lead the CCL. We've seen both CCL leaders in RBIs and strikeouts in this game, Sox and, of course, Grotto. Then on first and second for him. Takes ball 1 in the dirt. We are tied at 2 in the bottom of the 7th. One ball, no strikes. Fouled off. Grotto took a rip at that one. It's 1-1. Blues have speed on base. Mercado and Cermak, both with singles, both with stolen bases in this one. 1 ball and 1 strike to Grotto. Would not be surprised to see the hit and run on. Grotto takes low, ball 2. And we'll see what they've got brewing. But there's no question they're threatening to untie this ball game against one of the better pitchers in the CCL. It's Andrew Pogue. They haven't scored a run off him all year. And they've seen him now 3 times. 2-1 pitch to Grotto. Swung on and missed. Man, he took a cut again. And it's 2-2. He wants to untie this ball game, and he wants to do it with an extra base hit. That's what his 2 swings have told us, but we'll see what his 2-strike approach is. The count is even. There's 2 men on, and there's 1 out in the bottom of the 7th. We're tied at 2. Pogue stares down Mercado at second, now deals. Grotto grounds this one to Hamovitz. Double play ball to short. Now it is indeed a double play. 4-6-3. And the inning is over.
Okay, it's time for the great Blues tradition, the Footloose Frenzy.
The inning is over. The Blues got back-to-back singles from Mercado and Cermak with no outs. Clarkson struck out, and Grotto grounds into a 4-6-3 double play. We're still tied at 2, and we're going to the top of the 8th that way. We'll see who's on the mound for the Blues. Currently, Footloose Frenzy taking place in left field. I'm going to take a short break, but I'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere. It's still tied at 2. You won't want to miss anything. Final 2 innings coming up. Top 8, Blues and Riptide here at Sinsheimer Park. Thanks for hanging out. Welcome back. We're in the top of the 8th. Newly inserted right-hander, University of Utah, side armor, Zach McCleve. Pitching in relief now. Matt Sox, brilliant through 5. Noah Bullard, brilliant in the 6th and 7th. It's McCleave's turn, and I suspect he'll be asked to get the final 6. We're tied at 2. Top 8 underway. It's Colton Freeman leading things off for Orange County. Ball 1. Freeman is 1 for 3, and he takes strike 1. Count even at 1-1. We're tied at 2. Another good one down the stretch here. Blues definitely leave some to be desired. 2-1. Excuse me, 2 balls and 1 strike is the count. Grotto grounding into the double play, it hurts. It leaves men on. It's something we have not seen from Grotto. Grotto's now 0 for his last 10 as that's popped up. If you don't count the sac fly in this one, it's a souvenir. And oh, no one got it. Tough. Count 2-2. Yeah, that's just, I mean, it sounds wrong. Grotto 0 for his last 10, but it's the case. Got to find a way to win, as they've done all season, up against it, without starting catchers. Without this man, Zach McCleve, who you're saying, hey, I just saw him pitch on Sunday. That's right, he did. 2-2. Lined out into left. It'll drop. It's a leadoff, base hit, and a single for Colton Freeman. So you're thinking to yourself, okay, I saw McCleve pitch on Sunday. You're absolutely right. He's coming in. He's got 1 day of rest. He didn't play for 10 days. He was quarantined. He was part of the group that was, and so he's gotten his rest in that span of time. You're asking a lot still. Come in and give us 6 outs again, but this time in a tie ball game. You're not up 7 runs. This time it's tied, and he's asked to come in. Freeman aboard with a single. No outs. Top 9. Here's Krissick. Strike 1. Totally understand you're asking a lot. This is a guy who's been closing for you. That's what he's been doing. He'll be asked to do so. Most likely a 6 out. Most likely getting the final 6. But he got his rest. 10 days off. Now asked to pitch twice in 2 days. This time in a tense situation. Now it is lined out to center. It's a second straight base hit. Back-to-back Riptide are aboard with back-to-back singles. It's men on first and second now for Clay Nowens. We've seen McCleve pitch out of trouble, but this time he's put himself in the jam. Men on first and second, no outs, top 8 in a tie ball game at 2-2. You now have to face Clayton Owens, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI single and a double. McCleve deals to the lefty Owens. He'll check second momentarily. As a bunt is laid down, who's going to dig it out? McCleve out of the grass, gunning to first. 1 gone. Both runners advance into scoring position. It's now Freeman at third and Krissick at second with 1 out in the top of the 8th for Gavin Hamovitz, who has only reached on a walk. It's Hamovitz. McCleve to the plate. Grounded to Kretschmar. They'll take the out at first. And the Riptide have the lead. It's 3-2. One run scores on the ground out to second for Hamovitz. He has untied this ball game. It is 3-2. There's 2 outs in the top of the 8th for now Charlie Taylor, who's 0 for 3, but a possible second run in the form of Austin Krissick is just 90 feet away. Broken bat and popped up. Samuelson is under it for the third out. That retires the side, but not before the Riptide played a run to go ahead 3-2. McCleve on. He's pitching on 1 day's rest. I'll say that again. He gave up back-to-back singles to Freeman and Krisick. Runs scored on a ground out by Hamovitz. And for Gavin, that was his 5th RBI as a member of the Riptide. It is 3-2 as Orange County has the lead and will head to the bottom of the 8th. Blues will have 6 outs to try and tie, come back, and win. This is a big one for both teams. Riptide, with a win, will tie the Blues in the CCL Southern standings. Now you understand the importance. Bottom 8 coming up. Another good one here at Sinsheimer Park. I'll be right back with you. Thanks for hanging out. Newly inserted right-hander Andrew Pogue is not in the ballgame anymore. It's Hayden Murda facing the middle of the Blues lineup. Shell taking strike 1. It's 3-2 Riptide. They took the lead in the top of the 8th. We're in the bottom of the 8th now, and Shell is leading things off. Blues left men on first and second. In the bottom of the 7th is Grotto, grounded out into a double play to end the inning. 0-1 to Shell, swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Blues are up against it now, down a run, and they've been in this position before against this very team. Last time these two teams played, it went down 3-2. The final Riptide winning. Blues looking to not rewrite history. 0-2. Shell checked his swing and took strike 3 called, and he groans at the home plate umpire disagreeing with the call. It's a 3-pitch strikeout and the first out of the bottom of the 8th. That's the third time Shell has struck out tonight. Here's Tate Samuelson. Here's Tate taking strike 1. Samuelson has only reached on an error. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. Blues trail 3-2. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 1 gone, no one out. Samuelson takes strike 2, and Murda has thrown 5 pitches. He's thrown 5 strikes. He already struck out Shell looking. He has Samuelson behind 0-2. Our score is 3-2 in favor of Orange County. 0-2 pitch. Missing for ball 1. We'll see if the middle of this lineup can get it done here in the 8th. Or else it'll be up to the bottom of the lineup in the bottom of the 9th. 1-2 pitch from Murda to Samuelson. Fouled back, and Tate will stay alive to see another pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The only Blues with hits are the bottom of the lineup and the top. They fed into each other very well. At least they did when they plated runs in the 5th. 1-2 pitch. Samuelson fouls one off again. This one out to the right side. It's still 1-2. And there's still no one on with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. 3-2 our score in favor of Orange County. It's the first of 5 straight, the final 5 here at home. 1-2. Samuelson takes ball 2, and the count is even. Two balls and 2 strikes to the Blues' third baseman. Fouled off again. This has become a battle now. There's no one on and 1 out in the bottom of the 8th, and Samuelson, with 1 swing, can tie this ball game. It's 3-2. Blues do not have an extra base hit. 2-2. Ball 3 and a good take. He's worked it full. Three balls and 2 strikes. Murda's first inning of relief. There it is. Payoff pitch. Ball 4. Tate works a walk, and he's aboard for the second time tonight. Setting the table for Martinez, who is 0 for 3, but we know what he's capable of. Catcher out of Stanford has been DHing since he got to the Blues. Batting 6th. It's the lowest he's hit in the lineup, but it's a key spot now. Bottom 8, 1 man on, 1 out for Martinez. And the trail 3-2. Murda to the plate. Martinez takes a cut, misses, it's strike 1. No balls and 1 strike. No balls and 2 strikes. Oh, 2 pitch. Taken in the dirt. It gets away. Samuelson's going to take second. And a passed ball will allow Samuelson to take second base and be in scoring position after working a walk. And he was down 0-2 in that count. Worked it full, took ball 4. He now is at second. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Vince Martinez. Facing Murda out of the Riptide pen. Martinez swings and misses through strike 3. It's in the dirt, and he'll be out. That's the second out now. 2 strikeouts in the inning from Murda. That brings Kretschmar to the plate in what is now the biggest at-bat of the game for the Blues. Tying run at second in the form of Tate Samuelson. Austin Kretschmar at the plate can tie it with a base hit. 2 gone, bottom 8, 3-2 Riptide. Murda stands in, looking to pitch a scoreless bottom of the 8th in relief. Kretschmar takes slow, ball 1. It has been another good one between these 2 teams down the stretch. The first 2 in Irvine were not very close, 4-0, 5-2 in favor of the Riptide. Since then, every game has come down to the final few innings. 1 ball and no strikes to Kretschmar. Flared out to right. Drifting back is Freeman for the catch. That'll retire the side. Tying run stranded at second. Bottom of the 8th is over, and it's still 3-2 Riptide. There are 3 more outs to be gotten in the top of the 9th. Holding the Riptide scoreless would mean the Blues would come to the plate in the bottom of the 9th, only being down 1 run, as I get ahead of myself for like the 3rd time tonight. But but don't go anywhere. It's another good game, and Zach McCleve is going to be out to pitch the top of the ninth. 3 more outs to get in a 1-run ball game in a big ball game. The final between the Blues and Riptide. A win for Orange County means they're tied with the Blues for second place in the South. Oh, yeah. It's a big one. 3-2 our score. First of 5 straight at home. It's the final 5 on the Blues streaming network. Thanks for making this part of your Tuesday evening. Hope you've enjoyed this one as much as I have. Zach Ibrahim along with you. I'll take a short break. I'll be right back with you. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for hanging out. Top 9 underway. It's 3-2 in favor of Orange County. Emilio Rosas, who is 0 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch, is leading things off for the Riptide. Top 9 underway. 3-2 our score in favor of Orange County. There's no one on and no one out as Rosas leads things off in the top of the ninth. McCleve to the plate. Strike 1. Blues play the Saints tomorrow. The Oaks on Friday, Barons Saturday, Barons Sunday. And that's it for the regular season. 0-1. Swung on and missed 0-2. Rosas was hit by a pitch leading off the top of the 7th. He'd be stranded there as Noah Bullard would get the subsequent 3 outs. This one is grounded to Mercado, takes a couple hops, routine play to first. There's 1 gone. Here's Efren Cervantes, who's 0 for 3. No one on, 1 out. McCleve looking for 2 more outs. Zach's pitching on 1-day rest, and that was yesterday. Talked to head coach Bob Miller about how he spent his off day. He said, I went to the fair with my family. That's strike 1. The off days are key, especially at this point in the season. And what I love is that we get Thursday off. That's usually not the case. But in the midst of these final 5, it will not be 5 straight. It'll be 2. Here's no one. Fouled off, and it's 0-2. It'll be 2 tonight and tomorrow. Off day Thursday. We come back for the final weekend series, and you better be there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Season wraps up August 1st. Playoffs for the Blues, hopefully starting August 4th up in Lincoln. 0-2 is the count to Efren Cervantes. Fouled off. Still 0-2. Got him swinging. First strikeout for McCleve, and it's the second out, bringing Dwight Allen to the plate. He's 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts to center field. His first time facing McCleve. McCleve, the right-hander out of the University of Utah. Teammates with Matt Sox and TJ Clarkson. This one is grounded beyond him. Now it's beyond the reach of Mercado, and it's in center field for a base hit. Dwight Allen is aboard for the first time tonight. He's now 1 for 4. Allen singles, and that brings Simmons to the plate. 0 for 3 with a walk. And Terrence Simmons bats with 1 man on and 2 outs in the top of the ninth. It is 3-2 Riptide. A lot of this crowd is stuck around. It's a good ball game, but that's usually the case. First pitch inside, ball 1 to Simmons. One ball and no strikes to Terrence Simmons. Dwight Allen is aboard with a single. He sent one up the middle over McCleave's head and under Mercado's glove. He throws over to first to check on Allen. He's still safe there, and the count is still 1-0 on Simmons. 2 gone in the top of the ninth. One-zero pitch. Checked his swing and took strike 1. Count even. One ball and 1 strike to Terrence Simmons. Taking ball 2. Three to 2 our score. Riptide took the lead on the top of the 8th off of McCleave. He's looking to shut the door in the top of the 9th and give the Blues a chance, only down 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. Checked his swing and took ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike. Time called by Simmons. There's a man aboard. He's at first, and his name is Dwight Allen. McCleave to the plate. Ball 4. Simmons works a walk. It was not 2-1. The count was 3-1. I had that wrong. So Simmons takes first base on ball 4 in a 5-pitch at bat against Zach McCleave. He's walked for the second time tonight. That'll bring Colton Freeman to the plate. He's 2 for 4 with 2 singles. So Allen reaches on a base hit to center. Simmons reaches on ball 4. McCleave throws to second. Well, actually, he'll just turn around and force Allen to head back into second, which is where he is in scoring position. It's 3-2 Riptide, and there's 2 outs in the top of the 9th for Colton Freeman. McCleave is checking second and now dealing to the plate. Strike 1. Two men on. He faced this situation leading off the top of the 8th. We're in the top of the 9th, and there's 2 outs for him. And on first and second, Allen at second and Simmons at first. No balls and 1 strike to Freeman. McCleave checking second momentarily, twice, and now dealing. Grounded. McCleave will have it, gunning to first, and the inning is over. It'll be a 1-run ball game heading to the bottom of the 9th. Blues will have Kretschmar, Bologna, and Mercado due up. It's the bottom of the lineup, down 3-2. And we'll see if they'll be facing Murda. They will be. Hayden Murda set to shut things down and get a 6-out save for the Riptide and get a huge win for Orange County. They come in 20-15. They're coming off of a massive upset over the Saints. They won 10-2 and are looking to win their 3rd straight here at Sinsheimer Park in San Luis Obispo. You won't want to go anywhere. It's 3-2. And if you were with us back on July 8th, you know what's possible with the Blues down 1 run against the Riptide in the bottom of the 9th. Stay tuned for that. Murda facing the bottom of the Blues lineup. It's 3-2. I'll take a short break and be right back with you. Thanks for hanging out. Here's Bologna, not Kretschmar, to lead things off for the Blues in the bottom of the ninth. Kretschmar was that final out in the bottom of the eighth. So it's Bologna, Mercado, and Cermak due up. Facing Murda. 3-2 Riptide. Bottom of the ninth underway. Here's the first pitch. Vinny pops that one up, and the infield will have a look. It's Hemovitz and Owens. Hemovitz calls and catches. One pitch and one out. Here's Mercado. Key for the Blues, get men on. You're down one, it's 3-2, and with Mercado and Cermak due up, you're getting speed out of the batter's box. You're getting contact hitters. Mercado more than Cermak, as he takes strike one from Murda, who's been effective and efficient and has been getting outs. This is his second inning of relief. He's gotten 4 outs, looking for 2 more to get himself a 6-out save and get the Riptide their biggest win of the season. Swung on and missed 0-2. Blues have seen 3 pitches in the inning, and there's 1 out, and 0-2 is the count to Mercado. No one on and 1 out. 3-2 Riptide in the bottom of the ninth. Fouled off. Ruben stays alive as he sent the bat out in front. Nothing into the count. Mercado standing in. Stayed alive to see a 5th pitch. Murda to the plate. That's fouled off again. And he'll see a 6th. Mercado was down 0-2, has fouled 3 straight off. We've seen this from Ruben a number of times. On the night, he's 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a stolen base. All he's got to do is get on. 0-2 is the count to him still. Murda standing in, and here's the 0-2 pitch. He'll swing the bat out in front of that one. Try to beat it out. Hemovitz to first. He got him. Threatening for some fun, as that could have been an infield single. Instead, it's the second out, and Ryan Cermak is the last chance for the Blues. 2 for 3 with 2 singles, a stolen base, and he's been hit by a pitch. Since coming back, he's been an on-base machine and an RBI monster. Right now, he's the tying run at the plate, and he's the last chance for the Blues, down 1 in the bottom of the ninth, as he takes strike 1 for Murda, who has not missed, throwing nothing but strikes out of the pen. Nothing in 1 the count. Base is empty for Cermak, who takes high, ball 1. If you're Cermak up there, you got to be waiting for your pitch, whatever you have in mind. And I think if I'm Ryan, I'm looking for that fastball. Chokes up on the bat a bit. 1-1 the count. Checked his swing, but went around for strike 2, and now the Blues are down to their final strike. 2 outs, bottom 9. It's 3-2 Riptide. Cermak's the last chance. They're down to their final strike. The bases are empty, and Murda is looking for a 6-out save. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Cermak swings and misses through strike 3. The game is over. And the Riptide have won their biggest game of the season, as they are now tied for second with the Blues in the CCL South. Blues go to 23-15 and will have 4 more games at home to finish out the regular season. But the road to the playoffs is going to be a tense one, as now just half a game separates second place from 4th place. 3 teams bunched together, the Blues, now Riptide and Oaks. Blues will see the Saints tomorrow. They're the 1 seed. They'll see the Oaks on Friday, and they're the 3 seed as we speak. 3-2 is your final. Riptide defeat the Blues by the same score a week ago today here at Sinsheimer Park. It's a 3-2 loss for the Blues. They're now 13-13 in conference and have a huge game tomorrow against the Arroyo Seco Saints. For the Riptide, they're 21-15. As mentioned, they're tied for second now in the CCL South, as this win goes a long way in their hopes to make the playoffs and make that trip up to Lincoln to compete for a state championship. As for this one, 3-2 is the final. Blues lose, but we'll be back tomorrow First pitch just after 6. Here are the final pitching lines. Matt Sox went 5 full, gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits. Walked 2, struck out 5. Noah Bullard was great in his 2 innings. He only gave up a hit, struck out 1 man. McCleve, unfortunately, gives up the run in the, that was in the top of the 8th. That ends up being the killer. It's 3-2 as McCleve pitched on 1-day rest, came in, still got 6 outs. Unfortunately, it's a 1-run loss for the San Luis Obispo Blues. As for the call of this one, I've been Zach Ebrahim for everyone here in the press box. We're saying so long. Stay tuned for the post-game show. We might have an intern interview. It is up in the air, and it's a tough loss for the Blues. 3-2 is the final. It was a good ball game, though. Oddly mirrored the last matchup between these two teams. Almost everything was the same. The score heading into the 7th, the eventual outcome, 3-2, the loss. And for the Blues, they'll have to bounce back tomorrow against the first place team in the South, the Arroyo Seco Saints. First pitch tomorrow, just around 6:05. I'll have it for you here on the Blue Streaming Network. As for myself, I'm Zach Ebrahim, saying so long from Sinsheimer Park in San Luis Obispo. Blues will be back tomorrow. They'll be looking for a win. Thanks so much for hanging out. I can tell you that I'm going to be soaking up these final few games as there's 4 to go in the regular season. Playoffs or not, it's been an absolute honor. And I'm going to take my short break. I'll be back tomorrow around 6. Thanks so much for hanging out all year. Game 39 tomorrow, 6:05. Hope you'll be there. Take care of yourselves. I'll do the same. Good night, everybody.